What's up, fellas? Myron Head here with Men's Power Connect, and thanks for joining me for another Friday 5. Picture this: you're in your early 20s, thriving in school, serving your family, and hopeful for the future God has planned. Then suddenly, you're torn from your home, immersed into a culture that rejects your values and even strips you of your name to erase your identity. Today, I want to share how the lessons from 4 young men can help us to navigate the difficult times we are facing in our current culture. In 600 BC, Daniel and his 3 friends were exiled to Babylon to serve King Nebuchadnezzar. Soon after, the king demanded that all the wise men, including Daniel and his friends, interpret his dream or be put to death. What should Daniel do? How does he respond to the drastic change in his life and the demand to perform the impossible? Listen to Daniel's response to the king in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 27 and 28. Daniel answered the king and said, "No wise man, enchanters, magicians, or astrologers can show the king the mystery that the king has asked. But there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries, and he has made known to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, what will be in the latter days." What a powerful declaration. Faced with death, Daniel turns not to idols, science, magic, or AI, but to the living God, knowing only he can provide the answer. What gave Daniel such confidence in his God? First off, Daniel resolved that he would not embrace the culture of Babylon, but would honor God's way and his truth. When we stand for God during tough times, he will be with us and show us favor, just as he did for Daniel in Babylon. Before Daniel went to see the king, he gathered together with his friends who prayed for him and his success. That's real brotherhood, praying for one another, bearing each other's burdens. Who do you turn to when facing challenges that only God can overcome? God's word reminds us that in order to stand firm, overcome adversity, and do the impossible, we need a strong community. We all need men in our lives who will pray with us through the toughest of times. And my prayer is that God fills your life with trusted men who will lift you when needed. That's all the time I have today, but hey, be sure to come back next week for more lessons from the life of Daniel and his 3 friends. And if you're new to Men's Power Connect, click the subscribe link in the description and drop a comment so we know you're here. I'll see you next time. Grace and peace.